Hello, welcome to my cooking channel. It is Cooking with Benedicta in Tastebudzng Kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make Okasi soup or Ukasi soup. Ofe Okasi is from the people of Omahia in Abia State. Before I go on with this teaching, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button. That is, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button now and let's get on with our cooking. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make Ofe Okasi or Ofe Okasi. Ofe Okasi is made by using the Okasi leaves, also known as the afang leaves from the people of Ibibio. So it's just a simple soup with any meat of your choice, with a bit of thickener, cocoyam, Ofor, or achi will suffice, and tossing in your Okasi leaves. So now let's get on with all the ingredients that I will be using today. I have here a whole pot of different types of meat. I've got here goat meat, roundabout, which is the intestine of a cow, tripe, also known as shaki. I've also got the cow skin, known as bomo. I love a combination of all of this whenever I'm cooking my soup. Now remember, you can choose to use smoked turkey, chicken, whatever it is you like. Today I am using as a dried fish, stockfish, and an assortment of meat. So I'm going to be running you through with all the ingredients that I am going to be using. I have here my salt, my seasoning cubes, some Cameroon pepper, which I always love to use, my Uziza leaves. I'm going to show you how I do that, or how I introduce it to my soup with the ogiri and red scotch bonnet pepper. I have here my Ofor powder, which is my thickener of choice today. But if you do not have your Ofor powder, you can go on and use achi powder or blended cocoyam. I have here my red organic palm oil, my blended crayfish, and of course, I have here my sliced Okasi leaves, also known as afang leaves by the people of Ibibio. So here I have my red scotch bonnet pepper, which I'm going to be tossing into my mortar. I'm going to give it a good pounding. So I'll be pounding my red scotch bonnet pepper, my ogiri okpeye, and then I'm going to be tossing in my Okasi leaves. Remember, I am using ogiri okpeye today, but you can also choose to use ogirisi. Ogiri okpeye and ogirisi is a type of seasoning that we usually use in our soups in the eastern part of Nigeria. It's very, very flavorful, but the smell can be a bit pungent if you aren't used to it. Some people say it stinks really bad, but trust me, it is worth it. It tastes heavenly in our soups. So now I'm going to be taking the pot of assortment of meat and fish. I'll take it to the gas top, as you can see here, and I'll be introducing my crayfish, blended crayfish, my Cameroon pepper, my seasoning cubes. I'm not going to be putting that much of the salt. If you find that your meat stock it's salty enough, then you do not need the additional more salt. Remember, the base in this pot of soup is the stock that I got from steaming all my different types of meat together. So the meat stock is what we are using as the base for today's soup. So now we're going to cover up our pot and allow everything to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. While our meat and fish is simmering with the different spices in the pot, I'm going to show you how I blend my red scotch bonnet pepper, my ugiri okpe, and the Uziza leaves. These are my Uziza leaves that I'm introducing to my mortar, not the Ukasi leaves. Note, these are the Uziza leaves. I'm going to be pounding them together until I form a nice colorful paste. So this is what it looks like. It's all ready to be introduced to our pot of soup as it when ready. You can also have a taste of this. It is delicious. It is hot. It is flavorful. It's just heavenly. I love it. So now, here is our Ofor powder. I'm going to make this into a slurry by just introducing it into some tap water. And I'll mix everything together. And voila, it is ready. Now, I'm going to go over to the gas stop and see how our cooking is faring. You can see the reduction of the water level. That means our different types of fishes and our different types of meat has been properly incorporated with all the spices that was introduced to the pot. Now I'm going to taste for salt, I'm going to taste for seasoning, crayfish, and everything. I'm taking out my dried fish because I don't want it all mashed up in my pot of soup. We are going to be introducing our pounded Uziza leaves, ugiri okpe, and red scotch bonnet pepper into our pot of soup. And then we're going to let it simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes. It is time for us to introduce our red organic palm oil into our pot of soup. So we're just going to do that, and this is going to leave it looking all colorful and inviting. So we're going to let this simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes so the taste of the palm oil will not be raw. The palm oil is going to cook in the heat for some minutes before we introduce our thickener of choice, which is the Ofor. So let's cover up our pot and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Now it is all set for the introduction of our thickener. Feel free to add more tap water so your thickener will have enough water to work with. You do not want your soup too thick. Remember, this is a runny soup that is slightly thickened and has the Ukasi leaves in it. So before we introduce our thickener into our pot, we're just going to top it up with some tap water. And then it is ready for us to introduce our thickener of choice into the pot of soup. Now we're introducing our thickener of choice, which is the Ofor, into our pot of soup. But remember, you do have to introduce the thickener a spoonful at a time. You do not want to have your soup too thick or too runny. And when you're done with the introduction, cover up your pot of soup and allow it to thicken. This should work in about 5 to 7 minutes. And when it's all thickened to your likeness, you can reintroduce your cooked stockfish that you took out a while ago, because at this point, your soup is all ready. It is ready. So we're now going to be introducing our sliced Ukasi leaves. I love to introduce my Ukasi leaves at this point because I do not like my Ukasi leaves to be too soggy. So I love to introduce my Ukasi leaves at the end of the cooking. And once I'm done with the introduction, I'm going to be turning up the heat in the next 2 minutes. And this soup is all ready to be served. I can't wait to dig in. It looks so inviting. And trust me, the aroma is heavenly. Yes, it is. Now, you can eat this as a standalone meal if you're on a low-carb diet. And you can also have this with any any swallow of your choice. It is so delicious. Trust me, guys, you would like to try this soup at home. And tell me how it turned out. Send us a picture of what your own pot of Ukasi soup looks like. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy cooking our Abia State delicacy, Ofe Okasi or Ofe Okasi. Thank you all for watching, and remember, hit the subscribe button. Bye-bye.